Our chief White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. And Cecilia, let me begin with you. Shocking for the country, shocking for this White House.
Yeah, George, exactly. Now, look, the president just released a statement, so let me tell you what he is saying. He says, quote, "We do not know whether this draft is genuine or whether it reflects the final decision of the court," but he says he believes that a woman's right to choose is fundamental and that if the court does overturn Roe, that this will fall on elected officials to protect a woman's right to choose. He is looking ahead right now to those midterms in November, saying voters are going to have to elect pro-choice officials, and he wants Congress to codify Roe v. Wade into law. But that effort, as we know, is currently stalled on Capitol Hill. Look, it is tough to overstate just how seismic this news here is here in Washington. You've got conservatives who are opposed to abortion rights praising this decision while blasting the leak itself and calling for an investigation into how this document got out. You've got Democrats sounding the alarm, saying the breach doesn't even begin to compare with what's at stake. You've got Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer out with a scathing statement this morning. George, they are saying the Supreme Court is poised to inflict the greatest restriction of rights in the past 50 years, not just on women, but on all Americans.
For this week's Speak Out segment, we look at some billboard backlash. This billboard was recently put up in Dallas, Texas by a pro-abortion group, the Afia Center. It says, "Black women take care of their families by taking care of themselves. Abortion is self-care. Hashtag trust Black women."
This law will have a devastating impact on the patients that I serve. We know that abortion care is health care. It is very necessary in many instances.
While I am glad to be here with you all, the circumstances under which we are gathered is anything but positive. We are at a critical moment for access to abortion in our country. And I will not hide from the fact that as a provider of comprehensive reproductive health care that will always include abortion care, this moment is truly frightening.
One of the problems with the idea of thinking about, equality is the idea, and I don't think it's a problem to have equality. It's a problem to be naive that we actually should expect it now in this day and age, given this particular opinion, because rich women will still be able to get abortions.
Right.
And I know that people will focus a great deal on the idea of Black and brown women and lower income women, and they will conflate the two groups as if they are synonymous, as if only those groups will be the ones who have an unplanned pregnancy. But in reality, it's those who are not going to be able to have the luxury of travel, who are not going to be able to have the luxury of the privacy to decide where they should go to actually seek whatever service they ultimately wanted to actually obtain, but rich women will. And so this idea, even people who are not wealthy, but just people of means. And so when you think about the fundamental rights, when you think about equal protection, the law, and privacy, this particular opinion, if it holds, will essentially only extend that to those of a certain socioeconomic status. And therefore, we will have a bit of a health caste system in this country, which frankly, we need to guard against.
He is looking ahead right now to those midterms in November, saying voters are going to have to elect pro-choice officials, and